What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I was digging into the numbers of the upcoming promo cards for Rebellion, and we've already covered how, I think the cards are going to be. I think they're going to be relatively good and an important part of the meta, both the rare and the legendary one. But here's the thing. With the rares getting, a guaranteed BCX every 10 packs sold, and the legendary cards getting a guaranteed BCX for every 100 packs sold, if you look at the 500,000 packs, that means at a maximum, right? And again, these are just rough numbers because it's all going to come down to RNG, but we're looking at about 50,000 total BCX for the rare cards and 5,000 total BCX for the legendary cards, right? And roughly, if you max out those, right, with their respective counts that you'll need to max them, it's like between 430 and 450 or 460 maxed copies. But let's just get away from that for right now. Let's actually take a look at where some of the previous promo cards have been from a print rate perspective. Now, I'm going to start with legendary cards because there hasn't been any rare cards in recent memory. We'll have to look back at a much further back in terms of sets, but there's been a ton of legendary cards. There's been a bunch of common cards too, but we're going to just disregard that since we're only looking at rare and legendary. So obviously the two that I want to take a quick look at would be Dr. Blight, which was the promo card for Chaos Legion, right, which came out roughly 2 years ago. There's 21,390 BCX printed. So there's 4 times as many Dr. Blights as the maximum amount of Mantaroth cards, right? That's the legendary promo card that'll be coming out. That's significant. I mean, that to me is really significant. Obviously, Dr. Blight had a ton of value early on. The price has come down now as we've had a lot of people leave the game or liquidate or whatever the case is. But either way, Dr. Blight is still a decently priced card. I think still in like the $30 to $40 range. We'll take a look at it. Actually, you know what? Let's go and take a look at it right now because I do have it here. It's at $30 per BCX right now. I don't know how many are for sale. But there's a decent amount out there, right? And I guess $30 is, you'll be able to get maybe 1 or 2 max copies for $30 per BCX. But either way, you get what I'm trying to say. So when we take a look at that, the other one that I want to take a look at is Oshur Constantia. Now, this was the legendary airdrop or promo card for Rift Watchers, which came out roughly 1 year ago. And this is at 11,000 BCX. So it's more than 2 times the maximum amount of Mantaroths that we get. So if we take a quick look over here, let's actually back out and go back to the market. And we can see Oshur at about roughly $20 a pop right now. And there's only 20 of them on the marketplace, right? There's 31 Dr. Blights, there's 20 of the Oshur cards on the marketplace, and there's not that many. Let's see, if I go here, there's a couple for $20 a pop, right? It takes 11 to max these out. But it starts to go up from there. There's not that many BCX available. Sure, you do have a couple here, selling for $19.45 per BCX. These are all max copies. But there's not that many out there. Now, granted, is Oshur as good as Dr. Blight? I don't think so. I mean, not nearly as much because Dragon, you can only use it with one specific splinter as available, right? When Dragon is there. Versus Neutral, you can use it in pretty much every game except for no neutrals. So, obviously nothing's going to compare to Dr. Blight in terms of overall utility. Dr. Blight fits into the Little League games as well. And Mantaroth, obviously is a giant and it's a higher mana card. But still, I think Mantaroth is going to have way more utility than something like Oshur, especially in all these different games that have melee monsters attacking from, all different parts, right? Opportunity or equal opportunity. You got melee mayhem, super sneak. There's all these areas in which Mantaroth can just be an absolute beast because he gets that second attack with the armor, and armor is just going to be a massive meta. So let me see if there's any other ones that we want to take a quick look at in terms of legendaries. Obviously, we do have Zerial as well. There was about 5,000 BCX. Now, Zerial, again, a lot of people didn't really like the card in the first place. They thought that it was overpriced, but you could look at this as a rough proxy for where the value would be from a print rate perspective. And Zerial is still sitting at $28. There's only 7 of them available on the market. So what I'm trying to do with this is get a rough idea for what we can expect from a value perspective, right? A financial value. This is not financial advice. This is not investment advice. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm thinking about buying the packs versus just going and getting these cards on the marketplace, how much are they going to sell for? once the premium is gone, right? Once the early rush is gone. And I'm just looking at this and thinking to myself, well, there's less than 1/4 of the amount of Dr. Blights. There's less than half of the Oshures. It's about the same as Zerial, but I think it's way better than Zerial. Obviously, Zerial is only good with 2 different elements versus Mantaroth, which is neutral. So, these are all kinds of different things to weigh in. Now, if we do go back just a little bit to something like Chain Golem, Chain Golem might be more similar. There's 5,400 BCX, so that's actually a little bit higher. This is one of the Untamed promos. You can see this thing sitting at 2,800 bucks, but it is also a melee monster. Has a couple of different ability sets here. Let's see, for those who may not be familiar, you got Shield, Void, Pierce, Stun. I think Mantaroth is still significantly better than Chain Golem. I know it's a couple of mana more, but ultimately, to me, I just feel like it has way more utility. Let's see if there's any other legendaries. In fact, we can actually just stay here and then filter this out by legendary. I don't think that there's anything else I wanted to take a look at. Yeah, sure, there's a bunch of Lux Vegas, but Lux Vega is a summoner, so that's kind of on the opposite side. Now, when we take a look at rare cards, there's only ever been 2 of them. You got Nebseni, who's a summoner, so I want to disregard that. And then you got Dragonling Bowman. Now, Dragonling Bowman is going for $128 a pop, and I don't know what the let's see, rare. Oh, I guess. Well, actually, there's been more rares, right? It's just none of them are available for sale. But here's Dragonling Bowman with 67,000 BCX printed. That is still more than what we're expecting from the I think it's Grimbardoon Smith, right? And I don't know how good this card is or how bad this card is. Obviously, it's a beta card, so it hasn't had the same kind of utility in modern format. The ability set is not quite there with with where I think Grimbardoon Smith is. So again, is it going to go for $128 a pop in terms of BCX? I don't know. I think that's actually quite low. I can see it being significantly higher. There's not much to compare it to here for the rare side of things. That being said, there's just not going to be that many cards in total. I am very curious in terms of Nebseni. Where is Nebseni? Only 2,000 BCX printed of this rare summoner. So that's why that one is much more scarce, right? Versus 50,000 BCX. So I just want to share some of these numbers with you because it was a little jarring to me to see just how few cards there would be BCX printed, even if the entire set sold. Even the entire pre-sale sold out. I don't think anybody's really expecting the pre-sale to sell out right away. So this could be something to consider, especially over time. People get access to extra funds. They decide that, maybe I want to top up a little bit. There's also going to be the leaderboard. Don't forget about that, right? In terms of getting titles. So there's a bunch of different things here that I think could add a lot of value. But as somebody who's interested, not really in any of the cards or titles or anything, but really just the promo cards. Sorry, I meant like Rebellion cards. We don't really know what's in the packs yet. So I'm really focused on the promo cards, and I'm trying to figure out how we can value them at this point in time. Obviously, they're not going to be on the market until December, but looking at this, if you compare it, you can get somewhat of a proxy, and I would say that the value is going to be relatively high compared to your Dr. Blights and Oshures and, the rare card, Grimbardoon Smith. I have no idea, right? No idea, but it seems like it's going to be one of those cards that's just going to be purely crucial to the meta. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think about these numbers, if they're higher or lower than you expect, if they're influencing you in any way to buy more or fewer packs, or maybe just snipe them off the marketplace. That's all I have for you guys in this video. We'll continue the conversation in the comments section below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.